Capsizing is when a boat or ship is turned on its side or it is upside down. The act of reversing a capsized vessel is called righting. If a capsized vessel has enough flotation to prevent sinking, it may recover on its own if the stability is such that it is not stable inverted. Vessels of this design are called self-righting. Small vessels, in dinghy sailing, a practical distinction can be made between being knocked down, which is called a capsize, and being inverted, which is called being turtled. Small dinghies frequently capsize in the normal course of use and can usually be recovered by the crew. Some types of dinghy are occasionally deliberately capsized, as capsizing and righting the vessel again can be the fastest means of draining water from the boat. Capsizing is an inherent part of dinghy sailing. It is not a question of if, but a question of when. For those who do not want the experience, a keelboat monohull has physics on its side. But even yachts can capsize and turtle in extraordinary conditions, so design considerations are important. Such events can overcome skill and experience. Boats need to be appropriate for foreseeable conditions. A capsized kayak may be righted with a roll or Eskimo rescue. As long as the kayaker knows how to react, the water is not too shallow, and the location is not close to dangers that require evasive action by the kayaker which cannot be taken while capsized. Capsizing itself is usually not considered dangerous. In whitewater kayaking, capsizing occurs frequently and is accepted as an ordinary part of the sport. For sailing vessels, the capsize ratio is a commonly published number used as a guideline for safe operation, where a ratio of less than 2.0 is considered suitable for offshore operation. However, the only variables that go into capsize ratio are a vessel's beam and its displacement, and a thorough assessment of ship's stability needs to consider various other factors. A vessel may be designated as self-righting if it is designed to be able to capsize then return to upright without intervention. Most small craft intended as lifeboats with rigid hulls designed since about the middle of the 20th century are self-righting. Large vessels, in a storm, even large vessels may be rolled by being hit broadside by a large wave or pitch-pulled stem over stern in extreme waves. This is normally catastrophic for larger ships, and smaller yachts can be dismasted due to the drag as the boat is forced to roll over. Among ship types, a roll-on roll-off ship is more prone to capsizing as it has large open car decks near the waterline. If the watertight car deck doors fail through damage or mismanagement, water entering the car deck is subject to the free surface effect and may cause a capsize. As a RO ferry rolls, vehicles can break free and slide down if not firmly secured, adversely altering the ship's center of gravity, accelerating the roll, and possibly turning an otherwise recoverable roll into a capsize. A ship that is holed may capsize. In 2012, the very large cruise ship Costa Concordia was holed, lost its propulsion, and drifted into shallow water where she partially sank, resting on her side with most of her structure out of the water. Technically, this was not a capsize as her bottom was only partly exposed. Rather, this was a partial sinking. A vessel which capsizes without being holed may allow water to enter in places normally above the waterline. The ship may not then be able to right itself. Stability and safety will be compromised even if the vessel is righted. Competition. In competitive yacht racing, a capsized boat has certain special rights as it cannot maneuver. A boat is deemed capsized when the mast is touching the water. When it is fully inverted, it is said to have turned turtle or turtled. Good racers can often recover from a capsize with minimal loss of time. The capsize can result from extreme broaching, especially if the keel has insufficient leverage to tilt the vessel upright. Motor lifeboats are designed to be self-righting if capsized, but most other motorboats are not. Training. Intermediate sailors are encouraged to capsize their dinghies in a safe location with supervision at least once to become acquainted with their boat's floating properties in the capsize process. The boat are then righted, bailed out, and the sails reset, so that in the event of an uncontrolled capsize, the boat and its occupants are familiar with the procedure and may recover. Most small monohull sailboats can normally be righted by standing or pulling down on the centerboard, daggerboard to lift the mast clear of the water. Depending on the design of the hull, the boat's righting moment will normally take effect once the mast is around 30 degrees from horizontal and help pull the boat vertical. Righting a catamaran that is lying on its side involves using a righting line fed over the upper hull. The crew stands on the lower hull and pulls back on the righting line. In small catamarans such as the Hobie 16, it is imperative that at least one crew member assumes this task as soon as possible, as there is a chance that the boat will turtle and then become extremely difficult to recover without assistance. Sea turtling. Some monohulls and catamarans use a small flotation device mounted at the tip of the mast or mainsail to ensure that the craft cannot assume an inverted position, or at least that a fully inverted position is not stable. In both cases, having a crew member lift the end of the mast out of the water may help speed the process, as the greatest challenge of righting a capsized boat is shedding the weight of the water from the sails. A helpful step, where possible, is to disconnect the clew of the sail from the boom, which prevents the sail from scooping up water as the sail lifts out of the water. The bow of the capsized vessel should be pointed towards the wind so that when the sail starts to lift out of the water, the wind can catch underneath the sail and help right the boat. Care is taken not to let the boat swing all the way over and capsize on the other side, frequently with the crew on the bottom. This is more likely if the boat is not pointed into the wind. Lee waves. Bermuda-rigged sailing boats are vulnerable to lee waves. In the worst case, lee waves appear behind high islands. For example, in the Adriatic Sea or the Aegean Sea, relatively small islands can be very high and have a good steady wind, such as the Meltemi-Etesian in the Aegean during the dry summer season. The direction of the wind on the lee side of the island may be downwards, and this is feared because it causes instability in controlling the boat and in the worst case pushes the sail underwater, which can lead to disastrous capsizing. This is not possible with ordinary winds, because the push of an ordinary wind in a sail disappears when the sail becomes horizontal. Many use the expression downburst for this extreme sailing weather condition, but it is certainly more related to lee waves. Notable capsizings: Mary Rose, July 19, 1545, capsized and sank, English carrack, 380 dead. Vasa, August 10, 1628, Swedish warship, maiden voyage, 30 dead. SS Eastland, 1915, excursion boat, 845 dead. Greatest loss of life on the Great Lakes, SMS Sentistvoen, 1918, Austro-Hungarian capital warship, torpedoed, 89 dead. Scuttling of the German fleet in Scapa Flow, June 21, 1919, several German battleships and battler cruisers scuttled. USS Oklahoma, December 7, 1941, U.S. battleship torpedoed at Pearl Harbor. 415 missing or killed. USS Lafayette, formerly SS Normandy, February 9, 1942, 1 casualty. Japanese aircraft carrier IR-JAR, August 24, 1942, sunk by American air attacks, 120 casualties. Japanese battleship Kirishima, November 15, 1942, 212 casualties. Japanese battleship Musashi, October 24, 1944, sunk during the Battle of Sibuyan Sea, 1,023 casualties. Japanese battleship Fusa, October 25, 1944, sunk during the Battle of Srigay Strait, approximately 1890 casualties. Japanese battleship Yamashiro, October 25, 1944, sunk during the Battle of Srigay Strait, 1,626 casualties. German battleship Tirpitz, November 12, 1944, nearly 1,000 dead. Japanese aircraft carrier Shinano, November 29, 1944, sunk by American submarine USS Archerfish, 1,435 casualties. Japanese battleship Yamato, April 7, 1945, 2,475 dead. Soviet battleship Novorossiysk, October 29, 1955, 608 dead. SS Andrea Doria, July 25, 1956, killing 46 passengers at the area of the impact with the Miss Stockholm, Miss Herald of Free Enterprise, March 6, 1987, killing 193 passengers. Miss Jan Hewelius, January 14, 1993, leaving 54 people dead. Miss Estonia, September 28, 1994, killing 852 passengers. Miss Express Samina, September 26, 2000, 82 dead. MV La Jula, September 26, 2002, Senegalese ferry, at least 1,863 dead. MV Rockens, January 19, 2004, Dutch rock discharge vessel, capsized south of Bergen, Norway, killing 18 of 30 crew. Miss Al Salam Boccaccio. 98, February 3, 2006, resulting in an estimated 1,020 dead. MV Demes Victory, June 30, 2009, which sails to offshore oil and gas platforms, capsized off the coast of Qatari capital city of Doha. Costa Concordia, January 13, 2012, off the island of Giglio, western Italy, with about 4,200 aboard, all except 32 saved. Swol, April 16, 2014, approximately 3 kilometers off Guanmao Island, South Jeolla Province, South Korea, with over 450 people on board. See also: Glossary of nautical terms, keeling over, limit of positive stability, sea keeping, also called seaworthiness, seamanship, turtling, a full capsize in which the mast and sail are fully submerged. References. External links: Capsize formula for displacement sailboats, Hallett, Peter. ESCOW capsizing after duel with Kiwi 35 racing sailboat. Bellingham Bay, YouTube. Retrieved December 7, 2013. Hobie Bob installation. YouTube. Retrieved November 21, 2013. How to write a capsized and turtled Flying Scot sailboat. YouTube. Retrieved November 19, 2013. Lebegat, Sebastian. Writing a capsized catamaran. YouTube. Retrieved November 19, 2013.